Welcome to the Weekly Trend Trader Weekly Review. Week 24. Well, what happened this week? It looks like the sellers returned. But is it for real? What we're going to do, we're going to review the Asian markets, the European markets, and the USA markets, and find out exactly what's going on. So let's have a look. Before we do that, don't forget to subscribe, to like for the algorithms so other people can find our information, and to share with your friends because they too might want to build up a part-time income. Okay, so let's start with Asia. Right here in front of us, we've got the Hang Seng market. First thing I like to do is have a look at the previous winners. So as we can see here, the 52-week moving average is in a downtrend. So let's look at the previous winners. So right here in September, we have an entry here, an exit there in November, fine trade. But then the market builds up a double bottom, if we look at the chart, at 25,000. Beautiful trade to the upside. The exception to the rule is the double bottom. Although we're below the 52, we move to the upside. Lovely trade, and we exit there in June. Then the market bobbles around a little. We've got a quick entry in July, another winner that we close in September. Then we have a small whipsaw trade in November. Market runs up. We have several bars in a row. 29,000, drop back. Then we see what happens here at about 27,500. Got a nice entry there. Market's in a downtrend. We take that one and we get several weeks in a row and we exit at 24.50. So that's what we've got on the Hang Seng. Nice downtrend with a few trading opportunities. Let's move on. Let's look at China. In China now, nice little trade sets up. First one sets up for us in October. There's a short there below the 52. Get out in January 2019. Nice little trade, nice winner. But a beautiful trade sets up there at 24.50. If you look at October 18 and December 18, sets up for us there. Nice previous winner, double bottom at 24.50. Beautiful trade all the way up to 32.50, the high. Come out, take profit, 3,100. Lovely trade. And as we can see after that, look at the 52-week moving average. That's a flat market. 52-week moving average is going nowhere. So on this one, we sit on our hands. Absolutely nothing happening on the Chinese market at the moment for us. Let's look at the Nikkei in Japan. Very similar to China. Didn't get that big move up and down. But if we look at this one, 52-week moving average is flat right through the market. The only real opportunity that you might have had a look at is if we look at March, we've got that little bit of an inverse head and shoulders on the RSI. That tells us to enter the trade. We get in at 19.50. We're still in, and we've got this current week where the market has had quite a strong pullback. But it remains to be seen whether that pullback will continue and will drop back below the 52-week moving average and below the 50 on the RSI, or whether we will continue. So that's our review of the Asian markets. Let's go over and have a look at Europe. So let's start with the FTSE 100. As we can see again, the 52-week moving average is pretty flat on this one, so nothing really there for us. However, down when the market touched 5,000, if you look at the RSI, there was an inverse head and shoulders there, which gave us a little entry at 5,800. And we look like we're about to take profit on that one. We've now got a falling 52-week moving average, so there could be some weakness here. We've seen that big seller bar that we had on Friday, and if that crosses next week, we'll take our profit on that one, and it's looking like it's setting up for a short on the FTSE 100. France. Let's have a look at that. The first 4 months of this particular chart, 2-year chart, is very flat on the 52-week moving average. Then we start to rise slightly. We get our first opportunity in June when we get a bounce off the 50. Have a go there. Not much happening on that one. Small trade, pretty flat on that trade. Then we have another go in August. Lovely trade in August. We get in long and we get out in September. Then we get this bounce off the 50 at 5,600. Bounce off the 50 on the RSI. We do like those bounces off the 50. Lovely trade. Runs all the way up to the double top at 6,000. As we run into 6,000, we take our profit there. But the double top tells us there's something significant coming. Whenever we see a double top, we just love trading that pattern. Very, very reliable pattern. Double top at 6,000 and a testing of the highs at 6,100. Short it. Market absolutely collapses with the COVID news. And we take profit at about 4,600 on that one. But if you look at the 52-week moving average, the 52-week moving average is now falling, and we've also got the RSI. We've got just gone above the 50, but after the heavy selling that we saw on Friday, the RSI has poked again below the 50 line. Remember, we're bearish below the 50 and we're bullish above the 50. So that's one to watch. It could be that we do see some heavy selling, or some selling at least, coming in next week on the European markets. We've got the FTSE and France both looking weak. So let's look at the German DAX. So the beginning part of this chart, we can see it's in a nice downtrend. Previous winners, August 2018, take a short, another short there in October. Lovely short, get out in December, take profit there. Then the market runs back up. We sit out on that one because there's no clear reversal pattern. And the market drops back again. We get a bounce off the 50 at the end of May. Nice little trade. In at 12,000, out at 12,300. Take profit. Let the market fall back. Market falls back. Then we get that low testing bar in August. We'll wait another week. Get our first buyer bar. We buy that in September. Beautiful trade all the way up until 2020, January 2020, where we take our profits. Lovely trade. Very tricky one there on Germany though, the actual short. What you would take into consideration if you were trading Germany is you'd look at the rest of the European markets. Most of the other European markets had a double top. So whether you would have taken that long at 1350 where we got that indication, you probably wouldn't when you saw all the other markets with a double top. Germany just happened to push through 13,500 where all the other markets were creating a double top. So that would have been a bit of a warning signal when you look. Don't just look at one market or trade just one market. Look at several markets together. So in European region, look at the region. What are other European companies doing? And that would have said to you, hold on a minute, this doesn't look bullish. The others are all double topping. Germany, I'm sure, is going to double top as well. We don't get one market in Europe going one way and the rest going another way. If UK and France are going double topping, Germany is going to double top too. So let's move on. Let's have a look at Spain. So here's the IBEX. Lovely little setup that we get here in September, August of 2018. Just looking back at a bit of history. Take profit there in September. Then we go again in October. It's a nice little short. We could run that all the way down till the end of the year. Lovely trade. When the market runs back up, we've got a double bottom there in October, December time. Market forms a double bottom. Have a go at that one. Low test in Doji. Take the market on that move. Move up all the way until April. And we take profit at 96. 9,400. Bounce off 96. Take profit at 94 on that high test bar there. Excellent, lovely trade there. The market goes a little flat for a while. It is below the 52-week moving average, so we could have another go at it at 9,200. Then the short that sets up there, we high test twice at 9,400, and then the market collapses and we take profit at 86. Market runs up again. We are out of the market for a little while. We run up until 10,000, where we see again that double top pattern that we spoke about with the rest of Europe. The RSI is double topping, high test bar at 10,000, beautiful entry, and we capture that whole short from 10,000 all the way down to, we take profit around 7,000. Beautiful trade on the IBEX. So let's look at the FTSE MIB, the FTSE Bovespa, the Italian market, in a downtrend for the beginning of the chart. Nice little setup, bouncing off the 50 in a negative fashion in September. Take the short, get out in December. Beautiful trade. If we look there, we've got a small triple bottom. Have a go at that. Market runs back up from that small triple bottom. Get in at about 18.7, and we take our profits at 20,500. The market is above the 50, so we have another look there. Have a go at the first one at 21,000, and we're out pretty flat on that trade. Next setup is in August, where we get in again at 21.5, and we're in that one all the way to 23.5 in January 2020. Then again, we've got that situation where the RSI is double topping. We see the high test bar at 25,000. We rub our hands, we love that setup. Double top on the RSI, high test at 25,000, and the market sells off. Red bar, red bar, red bar, massive sell-off. We know what happened there. Fears of the COVID and the shutdown of the global economy. But if we look at long-term charts, we can see that that was actually predicted anyway. The market was heading into resistant levels, and the market just sold off. It did what the charts were showing us it was going to do. So that's the sell-off there for Italy, and that completes our look at Europe. So if you're enjoying what with the review so far, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget also to turn on the notifications bell. It's only by turning on the notifications bell that YouTube will alert you that we've placed another video. So let's finally take a look at the American markets. So here's the Dow Jones. The 52-week moving average is rising. This is a nice looking chart. In August, we've got that bounce off the 50. But prior to that, in July, we've got the entry. We take that there. There's a high test bar in September. Take our profits. Off we go. And then the market drops back. A small whipsaw in November. We sit out of the market, we let the market drop back, and then we get the most beautiful setup. October, November, December, triple bottom in play, the low testing candle, 22.5, it moves up. Next candle, low test bar at 2300, enter the trade, beautiful trade, out at 2600, and take your profits. Then we get a V spike that pops just below the 50 in end of May, moves up, another winning trade. Again in August, market drops back, several weeks of selling, sets up 26,500, runs all the way to the double top at 29,500. Beautiful setup, double top at 29.5. We know the market's in trouble. We take that short at 29.5. And again, we capture that entire move as the market collapses. Then the market drops down all the way down to 18,000, almost 18,000, but 18,300. Market puts in on the RSI. Have a look at the RSI. See there's a inverse head and shoulders. So we see that inverse head and shoulders, and we know the market's going to move to the upside. So we take that on the basis of the inverse head and shoulders. And we're currently in this one long, but after the week of selling that we've had, it looks as though the market could be about to run into a little bit of difficulty again. It remains to be seen. We're waiting to take profit. Lines haven't crossed yet. It looks like the market's poked just above the 50. Will it hold on the 50 and go up? Will it fail and come back below the 50 into a bearish area? That remains to be seen this week. but an interesting big week of selling with an engulfing bar on the Dow. So the most watched market of them all, the S&P 500. Let's look at all the trades that have set up and look at the strategy that way. July 2018, beautiful trade entry there. Take our profit at 2,900. Let the market drop all the way back. We get that triple bottom again. October, November, December, the triple bottom's in place. First candle, second candle comes in at 2,700. And 2,700 runs all the way to 2,900. We take profit. Market drops back. Again, another trade. About 28.50. Market runs up. Take profit at about 29.50 there as the market drops back. Then we have another go at it. Look at the RSI. We can see the bounces off the RSI. We love a bounce off the 50. We bounce off the 50 and we stay in this one all the way until the market gets to 3,300. Get to 3,300, we take our profit as we drop away from 3,300. But then the market has a go again at putting in a new high at 3,400, but we realize there's a bit of a problem here because the market starts to run out of steam and then the market just collapses and we see the sell-off that we've seen already on the Dow. Good. So let's finally look at the Nasdaq. What a bullish market this has been. The Nasdaq really is dominated by 5 key stocks, but those key stocks have had a great time while the rest of the market, the rest of the companies are really struggling at the moment with the COVID shutdown. So again, we get in July, we're out with profit. In October, we let the market drop all the way back. We've got that beautiful triple bottom again. October, November, December, triple bottom. Look at that second bar, low test bar, enter there, run all the way up to 8,000 and take our profit. Market drops back, look at the RSI, bounce off the 50, run up, take our profit again at 8,000. Market falls back to the swing low, we run up again, hit some resistance at 8,200, come back down, retest that low of 7,800, and then the market on that low test bar takes off. Look at the RSI, there's a double bottom in place, everything that we want for the setup. 8,000, buy it long, and we're in all the way up to 9,600 where we high test with that red high test bar. And we see that red high test bar, double tops in place at the 80, the market is going to sell off. So we get a beautiful run trade on the way up, and then we get a beautiful short from 9,600 all the way down as the market collapses. Absolutely fantastic trade. Beautiful on the way up, beautiful on the way down. Where are we currently though? So in March we had, if you look at the RSI, we've got an inverse head and shoulders there. The market runs up, beautiful run, really bullish run, puts in all-time highs at 10,000, and then the market starts to have some problems and run back down. So after the selling that we've seen on Friday, it looks as though we may be having a short-term pullback, but that remains to be seen. The lines haven't crossed yet. We're above the 52-week moving average. We want to see how deep is this pullback. Is it a real big pullback, sharp correction again, or is it a case of does that 9,800 turn into a double top, or does the market move up? What we'll do is look at what the candles do and keep following the trend. The trend is your friend until the bend at the end. So I hope you enjoyed our review of this week. We've had a lot happen this week with the selling, but we need to really just wait and see to see exactly what the direction is on the market. So don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to turn on the notification bell. And if you're new to the strategy, please go back and look at our strategy video, because some of the things that I've ran through the markets here, they may not make much sense to you. But if you watch the strategy video, I break down exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about high test bar, low test bar, head and shoulders, double bottoms, and all those things. They'll all become clear on on our strategy video, and I'll put that in the link below. So until next time, take care.